It had been 10 years since we exchanged vows. 10 years, I believe, were grounded in love, loyalty, and a shared future. Our life looked picture perfect from the outside. A beautiful home nestled in a quiet neighborhood. Two amazing kids who lit up every room, and a daily rhythm that felt safe, settled, real. I genuinely believed we had built something lasting. But all that shattered one evening over a quiet dinner at home. There was nothing unusual about the night. Just the two of us, eating by candlelight, talking about nothing in particular, until she looked up at me with a strange calm in her eyes, like she had already made peace with the wreckage she was about to cause. Then, with a tone so flat it chilled me, she said, "I've been cheating on you since the day we got married." At first, I let out a small, nervous laugh, waiting for the punchline, hoping she would try and make some twisted joke. But her face stayed still, blank, almost bored. No guilt, no hesitation. Just the truth, or at least her version of it, cold and unwrapped. She went on to say she had never really felt like I was the one, that she had been with other men, multiple men, on and off for years. Whenever the itch struck, I couldn't move. It felt like someone had knocked the wind out of my chest. My pulse roared in my ears, but my body stayed frozen. I sat there, stunned, trying to make sense of the words that had just dismantled a decade of my life. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay awake replaying everything, every vacation, every inside joke, every smile she ever gave me, every whispered promise at night. Had all of it been a lie? Was our whole life nothing more than a performance? And then a darker thought crept into my mind, one I never imagined I'd have to consider. I looked at our children, the two innocent souls we raised together, and a question I never wanted to ask whispered through my brain. What if they aren't mine? I didn't confront her. Not yet. I couldn't. Instead, I quietly scheduled a DNA test. I submitted my sample, along with swabs from both kids. The wait was excruciating. I went through each day pretending things were fine, smiling through the agony, hiding the storm that was growing inside me. I still made breakfast, tucked the kids in, acted like life hadn't cracked beneath my feet. When the results arrived, my hands trembled as I opened the email. I felt like I was about to be sentenced, either to a lesser heartbreak or something far worse. The truth hit harder than her confession. My daughter was biologically mine, but my son, our firstborn, was not. I sat there in silence, the screen glowing back at me, my world suddenly unrecognizable. It wasn't just betrayal. It was theft. She hadn't only cheated on me. She had stolen years of fatherhood under false pretenses, denied me the truth that should have been mine from the start. I had loved that boy with everything I had, and now I didn't know where that love belonged. Was it real if it was built on lies? I didn't confront her in a rage. I didn't scream or throw accusations. No. What I wanted now was truth, witnessed by everyone who once believed in the picture she painted. So I made a plan. I reached out to both of our families and invited them to a dinner at our home. I told them I had good news to share, something personal and important. I even invited a few of our closest friends, people who had stood by us through every milestone. The night of the dinner arrived, and everything was meticulously arranged. The table was beautifully set, laughter echoed through the house, glasses clinked, and food was passed around. She was glowing that evening, relaxed and radiant, completely unaware of the storm I was about to unleash. When the moment came, I stood and tapped my glass. The room slowly fell quiet, everyone expecting a toast, maybe a surprise announcement. I turned toward her and said, "You remember that little confession you made the other night? About cheating on me since the day we got married?" Her smile faltered. The air in the room shifted. Chairs creaked. Eyes darted between us. She froze. I reached into my jacket and pulled out an envelope, placing it gently on the table. "Here are the DNA test results," I said calmly. "Turns out only one of our children is biologically mine." A wave of gasps rippled across the room. Her face went pale. She tried to speak, but I raised a hand to stop her. "Don't," I said firmly. "You wanted to live in your truth. So here it is. Let everyone see it. This is who you really are." Her parents looked shattered. My family sat in stunned silence. The room had become a courtroom, and her own words were the only evidence I needed. Our son, too young to grasp the way of the moment, just looked around, confused by the shift in energy. Then I delivered the final blow. I've already spoken to a lawyer. The divorce papers will be filed this week. You can keep the house. I just want shared custody of our daughter and peace. Her composure cracked. She begged me to step outside, to talk alone. Tears welled up in her eyes. She swore she still loved me. She pleaded for forgiveness. She clung to me like the weight of her actions had finally hit. But it was too late. The next day, I packed my bags and walked out of that house for good. News of what happened spread quickly among our circle. Friends I hadn't heard from in years reached out to show support. Her perfect image, one she had spent years carefully curating, crumbled under the truth. But I didn't do it for revenge. I did it because I needed closure. I needed her lies to burn in the daylight. In time, I rebuilt. I moved into a quiet apartment, restructured my routines, and found my footing again. I stayed present in my daughter's life, never letting her feel the fracture between her parents. As for my son, though he wasn't mine by blood, he still looked at me like I was his father. I chose not to take that away from him. Love, real love, goes beyond DNA. She tried many times to make amends, but I never turned back. She had made her choices, and I had finally made mine. In the end, I learned that not all revenge has to be loud, cruel, or cruelly theatrical. Sometimes the quietest truth cuts the deepest, and when spoken at the right moment, it becomes something stronger than revenge. It becomes freedom.